Hi, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here. This is just a short video as an introduction to my new style, my new podcast. This is an introduction to my October readings, because many of you were of two minds asking me, well, we like to see the video because we like to see the cards. And those of you who wrote in saying that the podcast, you preferred the podcast, said, well, it really makes me listen more carefully. And I have to say, I too am of two minds, because I do like to show the cards. I really do. But I can't deny that I really have a strong sense of connection when I turn off the video and when I use my voice and just listen. So in this intro, well, first of all, let me show you this. I'm doing this because a colleague of mine, well, a friend of mine said, oh, that warlock, that marionette, it just is the creepiest thing, but it's harmless. It's a true marionette. And I just wanted to show it to you so you don't get freaked out by it. This was, it's a handmade marionette, and I got this at the airport. You know how you're waiting on to board, and right next into the corner there was a shop that had all handmade marionettes, and it was so cute. Look at that hat. Look at that hat. So cute, so cute. And so, I just brought it here to make you see with me, so just relax. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to show you the deck of cards that I'll be using. So when I call on you and ask you to, even though I do them in a pre-recorded way, I'm going to channel and listen to the energies that I get from each individual sign. So let me first tell you that I'll be using the runes. I'll be starting with the runes casting. And I'll be using these tiger eyes runes because you can see them. The etching is fairly clear, and for me to see, when I usually read, it's usually dark, and so I like to be able to see them. And I'll be using those first. You'll hear them in the podcast. Then I have three different decks to use. The first is the Voodoo Tarot deck that I've used before. You've known that. This is the 14th Major Arcana, we can call that. Thibonage, the 20th Major Arcana, the Ancestors, just to give you a few. 0, the World Egg, and so on. Then we have a Santeria 2 card, Olofi, just to give you a few of the cards, just to give you an idea, but you know these more than the other two decks. And the next deck is the Tarot of Muja, de la Muja, who is an artist. And just to give you an idea of what they look like, this is the 11th card. What could that be? Justice. You can see that, maybe the 11th Major Arcana, that's Justice. This is who do we have here? The Emperor. Oops, the Emperor. Here we have the Hermit. Lovely cards, lovely cards. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let me put these away and show you another deck, which is the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And I've used this twice, 2 other times. This is the 9 of Cups. This is the version of the 9 of Cups. Whoa, the foot of my marionette has fallen. This is the High Priestess. High Priestess. This is the Magician. Let me see if I could get it better. Oh, the closer, the farther away I get it from the light, there it is, the better it is. And this is our Knight of Swords. Get a load of that, our Knight of Swords. There you are. Okay, so, but another reason why I wanted to give an introduction is that I wanted to thank a colleague, a fellow reader, for having sent me a person to work with. Thank you, Lou, Louisiana Lou. Why am I thanking her? The main reason is that it gave me the opportunity to fine-tune what I was doing. It was a particular case, and it made me able to speak about it and to give you, my experience with this person and to tell you how I work. So I thought it would clarify a lot of things. So in short, the person was looking for initially a black witch or a warlock, someone who could fight fire with fire in terms of black magic. Now, well, this is an expression in English, fight fire with fire, get the same intensity, because he felt that he was an object of black magic. Now, the person was looking for that, but then he came to me and I asked him to tell me what the story was about. And I was taking notes, and he told me that for decades he has been targeted with black magic. And I wanted, in some way, I invited him for a consultation, okay, to understand. And he prefaced the introduction of this whole story with a series of admonishments, of warnings, telling me that he had been to many other people before me, and none of them wanted to work with him because each one individually had suffered some kind of flash of negative energy towards them directly. One was threatened, her life was threatened, another fell ill with a serious illness for an extremely long time. And I let him talk. Like I said, I took notes, I asked my questions, and then I explained to him how I worked. Now, what I will explain to you is my form of white magic. Okay, we could call it white magic, but I just want to say that we can change the words around. It's all the same, just like any field, physics, linguistics. People have, and groups of people that work together have different ways of calling things, and in different countries they call the same phenomenon with another lexical item, all right? So, but what I want to say is that this is a form of white magic. It's a service that I provide and that I've listed on my website. First and foremost, I told him my diagnosis, that what he was experiencing was only one of many, far many other more serious blocks and restrictions that could be ailing him. And I started asking him a number of questions, but then I hit him with the fundamental question. What is your intention? What do you want to achieve by coming to me? And what he said was this: I want two things. One, I want to unmask the largest pedophile ring in the Northern Hemisphere. And two, I want to be able to receive adequate medical care, because in his country, in Ireland, he was negated that for several different reasons. Okay, I won't go into the political side to it now. And with that, having heard that, with those objectives, it put me in a position of being able to then do my magic, eliminating any negative influences on him, stopping him from achieving those goals. How? I was able to cut bonds, contracts, curses, and remove curses and vows, spells, anything, you name it, that were affecting him directly. The list is endless. Affecting him directly, and as a consequence, it would block the negative energy affecting him, and it would not target but contain those people, he listed names, first and last names, that were manipulating him throughout the decades. These people represent members of the clergy, solicitors, barristers, and politicians in that country. Now, one important thing is that there was no fear. I never, ever operate with fear. If I have to be fearful, I just say no. It's not a moment when I can work. The process was reversed, is reversed, because their initial energetic dealings and workings, or if we want to call it magic, were halted But we had, of course, this person who was in a wheelchair, who was dying, and ultimately was powerless, disempowered completely. And one thing then leads to another, and you get the press, you get someone to help you out, physicians to, okay, so it's a series of things that then change. Now, this is just to give you an idea of what how I work. Fundamental is not, and this is a suggestion for all other readers, all other energy workers, light workers, never work if you are fearful. And there's something that when someone comes to me, and I have seen a lot of different cases, okay? When I decide if I can work with you, and this is determined by a series of parameters linked to the nature of your soul, I never have to decide if I'm conditioned by fear or any other, or because it will create repercussions. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to say that. And thanks again, Lou. I appreciate that. Now off to the readings. Bye-bye.
Hi Scorpio, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with another reading for you for the month of October. And I have here my runes, as I mentioned, and I'll start with the runes here. The month is going to be kicking off with the new moon, and so let's see what that has to, what the month holds for you, starting from the very beginning. Oh, wow. Okay, we have a whole line. This is, the runes have fallen in practically a straight line, except for the very, very end. And it's quite, really, say, busy time for you. It starts here with Awats, and Awats is linked to Algis, Walgis, what they're talking about. If we want to describe the different conversations that the runes are cast have presented with, there are 3 conversations with one specific focus, and the focus is tear, and it's extreme success, and it's pointing to your moving forward, which is going to create numerous incidences for success, numerous occasions for success. It's as if you just needed that first step, and then the ball will be rolling forward and farther forward, and again further forward. Now, it's a month, Scorpio, where you cannot do anything wrong. You have this sensation that the universe is on your side all of a sudden. And I can recall the last time I read for you, and we were talking about risk. I remember it was the last podcast. It was risk. You were risking. Well, apparently you have been dealt a good hand, because what I'm seeing here, and it's a beautiful picture here, is the aftermath of a series of steps that you took, one after another, right into a halo where you have nothing else to fear. Not even fear itself, because fear is absent here. It seems as if there's no fear at all. And you're determined. Very rarely have I seen you so determined as now to move forward as never before. You're on a mission. It seems as if you're on a mission. It seems as if you are, and the mission actually is your road forward. It's as if you're giving so much importance to the road itself, to the percorso, to that moving forward, the road, the path. And the path for you is what's giving you all of your motivation, your excitement, because you're fired up. You're fired up. You're so happy and so joyful, because it seems that the cement blocks have left your feet. They've dissolved from your feet, holding you down, and you're just light-footed. And what's interesting is that the journeying that the runes are mentioning here, the journey forward and the need to develop within the journey, is compounded by Rido, which is on its back, literally, pointing to need, that the runes are actually telling me you have to go forward. Your mission is the objective. It's not like Mission Impossible and you're given a mission should you accept. No, it is the mission that is the object, the objective. So determined, so protected, so successful, one step after another, each step of your way. Let's take a look now at the tarot decks. You concentrate on those 3 tarot decks: the Mucha Tarot, the Sexual Magic Tarot, and the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. And you let me think what you're choosing. I have half the Mucha and half the Voodoo, and I think this was your choice last time that I was reading for you as well. So I'll start with the Voodoo Tarot. And see if we can flesh out the details of this casting. Okay. Okay, and now I'll mix the Mucha and spread the Mucha. A lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. I've never seen a spread for Scorpio so involved and so, I'd like to say, magical. Let's see what the Mucha I have to add. Okay, it's as if they are conversing. You know, on the right I have the Voodoo Tarot that are giving us a picture of your dealings, what's going on, and on the left I have the Mucha Tarot that are giving us cautionary measures. Yes, do that, but. All right, now first of all, your dealings involve contexts that are very wide-ranging, from, let's say, Secret Service work to purchasing a new shop to shining shoes on the corner. There's the range is wide. There's a very wide range of activity that it's involving. But every single activity involved, even the interactions, even someone going into a situation of romance, a clandestine romance, third parties, you're the odd man out, lovers who are secret lovers, or the beginnings of a new relationship, or the beginning meetings, the coffee. Everything is done in a secretive manner, as if it was as if it were a very personal, only personal activity for you. It has nothing to do with anyone else, and you're keeping it that way for a reason. not because you fear others. There's no fear here at all. But this is a mode of operating that you have adopted of late, and you have decided that you're going to continue operating this way because it serves you well. So what does that create for us? That creates an inner music for you, Scorpio, and a space, a very personal, very hidden guarded space for you, where your mind takes vacations of immensely varied colors. You dance in a space that is highly personal, and it's so enriching for you. You are almost jealous of this very protected space. You don't want to exchange it with anyone. It also means that the people you come into contact with are also kept at bay. They are kept beyond this personal space. As I said, this is a countenance, this is an activity, this is a modus vivendi that you have adopted of late. And it's also a secret area where you, in your own fashion, everyone from the shoe shiner on the corner to the banker on Wall Street, all of you, Scorpio, have a way of giving thanks. You enact as if it is the greatest moment for you to become, I don't want to use the term manipulative because it's always connotated negatively, but it has the impression of being manipulative, but all it means is that you're guarding your activity, all types of activity, in a manner that you're keeping it close to your vest. And when you give thanks, differently from the past, you're giving thanks in a manner that hails the holy seas and hails the holy skies. You're worshiping fire, wind, water. It's almost a different form of rituals that you're carrying out, because there's a frenzy in your activity, in your mind. There's a certain frenzy. It's almost diabolic, but you're so successful, as I have said. These cards are complementing the runes. We have to remember that. Now, there's also further things to be said here that are important. One is that everything is done with discipline, with order, method, and purpose. Means there's a method to your madness, Scorpio, and also there is an underlying area in your soul where you remember, you're highly conscious of the pain that you have experienced in your life at different phases in your life, and it's very present for you, and it's present in your mind's eye, and that's something that won't go away. And this is one of the reasons it makes me think, but it may not be, why you're keeping things too close to your vest. Now, on the other hand, I did say that we have the Muha Tarot that are sort of not warning you, they're putting out a message that is telling you, yes, do your thing the way you want. Do it your way. But beware that risk from the second half of September still does exist. You are you're moving in waters that can be risky for you, especially in economic terms, on the one hand. But there's a warning here that you have to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, and your sense of spirituality, your belief system, is going to be called into question through your dealings. So since this is a period, this is a month in October that's so extremely full of tension, the Mucha Tarot are telling you that just remember your value system. Think long, think hard, revise it in each turn, each point of your journey. Now, it also is a month, the month of October, where there's a lot of movement, but more than a specific movement moving from point A to B. What we have here is the strategizing, the planning, this is going to happen in November, and then I'm going to do this in December. I'm going to see that person now, but I will not, I'll write to them. I won't see them until 2 weeks' time when it will be all right for me to invite them. So you're planning things, and it's not too far in the future, although you do have an ultimate goal. And you have even a plan B should that not work. But it is semi-structured, like semi-structured interviews, we call them when we're doing questionnaires, semi-structured. So if something goes wrong, you have another option. And what's also interesting is that underlying your madness, the method of your madness, is ultimately the notion of sharing. You do want to share. It's as if those of you who are planning to get back to a person, or who want to accost a person, or want to meet someone new, you're going to make them understand very, very clearly, extremely clearly, that what you're mostly interested in is sharing a life. You're not going to make any mistakes again. And the cards are pointing out that you should remember those little mistakes that were made in the past. And there's another thing that underlies here the spread. And it's the idea that you have, and you feel, you're convinced of this, that you have the world at your feet in this period. And it may cause you difficulty in the sense of making choices, specific choices. So beware of that. And now, transversally, I can see that the very high level of your mental skills, the highly intellectual skills that you have and you're using, because you're using your mind at a different level this month of October, it will serve you well in terms of making a qualitative jump in the abstract, in what we can call a spiritual realm, or in another dimension. But it has also the ability to put you on your backside if you're not paying attention to detail. Also, what I'm seeing is that the movement forward, strategizing, is in line with the time you set aside for leisure activity and for giving thanks, because you've come a long way. You've taken that extreme burden off your shoulders, and now is the time to look forward and see how you can plan the near future. So if this goes well, then that. This is what you're thinking. And again, the giving thanks accompanies every single decision that you make. And basically, you never lose sight of your objective this month. You never lose sight of how you intend to go forward. Since you have already made the decision, it will be different, because there is a lot of planning here. Again, the cards admonish you to just be aware of creating too many choices for yourself, Scorpio, because that will make you come to a standstill. Well, I do hope this was of help to you, ladies and gentlemen, Scorpio friends, and come and follow me on Twitter almost every day practically, it is every day, at some time during the day, I go live. And if you follow me, you'll be notified by a program called Periscope, and I use that to go live. And it depends on how many people show up during the session. You can chat directly. I read the chat, and I answer your questions there. I've been doing this since, what is today? Wednesday? I guess it is the 29th. I've been doing this since last Friday, which I guess was the 23rd. And I've had peaks of 17, 18 people coming in. It's a new means of communication. At one point there was 34 the first few days, but since I live in Italy and the world is round, it depends on where you are, if you're awake, and if you have this, Twitter, if you're a Twitter fan. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, namaste, Scorpio. Until we read again. Bye-bye.